What's up, everybody? We're back here at Hustler Casino Live, this time playing a big game, 5-5-10, also with a mandatory $20 straddle. Huge game here, big pots. And for the first pot of the night, we're going to start off with a PLO bomb pot. Each player does put in $25 here. We're going 8 ways, 2 to flops. It's going to be at least $200 in the middle to start. And for this hand, the first board comes Jack 10 8, and second board comes Queen 7. We're loving this flop so far on both boards. First one, we have Queen 9 of Hearts for basically the nut straight, so just have to hope our cards hold there. And for the second board, we do have Trip Queens. You know we love the ladies treating us right as usual, with an ace kicker, so we could potentially boat up in the future. And it does fold around to me in hijack, and I decide to put out a bet of $100. Cutoff puts in the call, small blind puts in the call as well. Then it folds around to under the gun, and under the gun actually pots it and makes it $625 to go. Gets back around to me, and I'm thinking, well, I mean, I'm only in for 14-15. I just moved to this table from another table, and yeah, I said, well, might as well, gotta go with it. I am all in. We have an Andre Mamba moment for $1,415. Like I said, I do have the nuts on one board and top trips, top kicker on another board. And the person to my left in cutoff folds, but small blind actually comes over the top and goes all in as well. And then it folds around to the person who put in the 625, and they said, well, they're in too. So we're going to have a 3-way all in for this PLO bomb pot. Let's see the run out. I got the... Well, I have a straight on the bottom and a boat on the top.
No, on top here.
Yeah, I actually reboat it. Holy shit.
Seven's full.
7 4.
My hand, Adam. My hand.
Yeah, I scooped it. Holy shit.
Wait, what?
I have ace queen. I
Oh
hit
shit!
the ace on
Nice
the
first
turn.
hand.
Oh
But then there's a side pot.
I didn't see the ace.
And this was pretty crazy here, ladies and gentlemen. We had the nuts on the first board with the Queen 9. Nobody else had the straight. Nobody else boated up with this crazy pyramid of the boards here. And on the top, one of my opponents had Queen 7 for the nut boat on the top, and somebody else had pocket sevens for the second nut boat on the top. But we managed to spike an ace on the turn to take down both boards for this massive over $4,000 pot. Love to see it. What a way to start out my session. And a couple of hands later, I get dealt King Queen offsuit in hijack. Once again, under the gun $20 straddle is on. Folds around to me, and I decide to open up to $60 here. Folds to small blind, and they put in a call. Big blind puts in a call as well. Under the gun straddle folds. So we're going to go 3 ways to a flop of Queen 4 deuce 2 hearts. So I flop top here with the second best kicker. Don't see any of these players having ace queen, so it should be pretty good here. They both do check to me, and I decide to put out a bet of $90, roughly 50% of the pot. And it was something really interesting here. Before I made my bet, and make sure you keep track of this important information. Before I made my bet, for some reason, small blind didn't check right away. And usually in this spot, you're just going to be checking to the pre-flop aggressor, right? For some reason, small blind took like 20-30 seconds. They actually took so long that I thought that they might have checked already. I was confused. I was about to take off my headphones, but no, they actually didn't check. So they waited 20-30 seconds and then checked, right? So keep that in mind. So yeah, like I said, I did make the bet of $90, and both players did call. So we're going to go 3 ways to the turn, and it comes, oh baby, another lady. We love the ladies, right? So we now have trip queens with should be the best kicker right now. Small blind does check. And then for some weird odd reason, big blind just donks out $270. I'm like, what the hell is going on? How are they starting to donk here? Just really, I mean, this is a super strong donk for the top card to pair, and they just start donking. So obviously, I mean, at this point, I just put them on a queen, right? They're probably just going to have a queen a lot of the time. So I do see that there's a flush draw on board, and I do have a heart in my hand, so I'm not too worried about the flush draw. But the problem is that I still have another player to my left. Normally in this spot, I probably would just call, but this time I do decide to raise. We're playing pretty deep. I want to make sure that the person to my left actually just gets out of the way, or they're pretty much, you know, forced to play their hand pretty much face up at this point, right? So I do raise in position to $650. And immediately when I raise to $650, small blind announces that they're all in. You've got to be kidding me. They go all in. I'm playing relatively really deep with them. They basically go all in, and I would have to call off a total of $3,000. So basically they went, I would have to call off total $3,000. So basically $2,400 more. Big blind does fold, and now the action's on me. And I actually go into the tank here. I actually go into the tank because this person just 3-bet the flop. They literally just 3-bet, well, not the flop. They 3-bet the turn, right? This is super, super strong, ladies and gentlemen. Super, super strong. And their raise is 5x my raise after I raised to a donk. So this line is just super strong. I let the table know I'm going to need like 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm taking my time, tanking. And even after like 10, 20 seconds, I already was telling, you know, the person who went all in, I said, yo, I'm probably just going to fold. Like I told him, I just feel like you have it here. Like this just didn't make sense. I'm pretty much dead to ace queen, which I believe that this player would be 3-betting that. You know, I haven't been at the table too long, but I am dead to ace queen. I don't think a weaker queen X would just jam here. So I actually straight up told him, you know, I said, I just believe you got a boat. You just have a boat. You have pocket fours or pocket deuces. That's all that you have here. That's exactly what I told him. You just have a boat before I folded. And, you know, and one of the main important things is remember that at the beginning of the hand on a flop that player waited like 20 to 30 seconds to check. They waited 20 to 30 seconds to check because they were going to donk. They were going to donk the flop. So that even played more into my decision because you're just supposed to just check that spot to the pre-flop aggressor, right? They took way too long that they were planning to donk. And I was thinking, you know, what would donk here? Flush draw on board. You can just donk pocket fours and pocket deuces, right? So after doing all of this thought process and all of that, I actually laid out my cards. I showed them king, queen, offsuit. And they decide to show for the poker video. So shout out to this player at Hustlers Casino. They show pocket fours for the turn boat. So what an amazing laydown by me. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. And third hand of the night at this big table, we get the pocket aces, the Rockets in hijack position. Under the gun $20 straddle is on as usual. It does fold around to me, and I decide to open up to $60 once again. Folds to button, and they put in the 3-bet to $175. They're playing roughly $1,500 effective here. They let me know. And it folds back around to me, and I decide to put in the 4-bet. I make it $420 to go. I know some people in the audience might like that number. And they think only for like a second or two, unfortunately, they do fold. But hey, we take down the pot, but definitely want to see some fireworks here when you have the Rockets. And last hand of the session, we get dealt ace king in the under the gun $20 straddle. It does fold all the way around to small blind, and they decide to open up to $80. Big blind does fold, and I decide to put in the 3-bet to $290. I accidentally 3-bet kind of big here. I thought I was going to be out of position and didn't realize I was in position. I would have loved to have just gone like 260, to be honest. But yeah, That's the size I used, and they still put in the call, so it works out for me, right? And we're gonna go heads up to a flop of king 9-6, 2 hearts. I do have the ace of hearts in my hand, really important card to have here. And we have top pair, top kicker. No complaints, only behind 2 pocket 9s, 6s, and king 9 suited right now. That's about it. And they do check. I put out a bet of $200. They come along with the call. So we're going to go to the turn, and it comes the 3 of hearts. My opponent checks again, and really, really good turn here. Like I said, I do have the ace of hearts, so I'm blocking flushes, and I'm also drawing to the nuts at this point, even if they do have a set. So really, really good card here. And this time on turn, instead of going for a really strong polarizing size, I decide to just put out a small wager here. I just go $350, relatively small compared to the almost $1,000 or so that we have in the pot already. So yeah, just a $350 bet here, and they do come along with the call. And we go to the river, and it comes the 4 of clubs, just a relative brick. They check, and they have roughly $1,200 behind. So you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have an Aunt Jemima moment. I am all in with my top pair, top kicker, flipping 1 chip, and my opponent goes into the tank. Goes into the tank. He's thinking. Thanks for maybe at least almost even 2 minutes. And at this point, I'm feeling really good. I know if they call, I'm definitely going to win here. But unfortunately, they do end up laying it down. So I do take down this massive pot, massive 3-bet pot. Then my opponent actually did say the king was no good there, right? So they did have some sort of king. Maybe they had like king 10, king jack, just a king with a weak kicker, basically, that they didn't want to put in the middle because of the flush draw being on board. So maybe if the run out was clean and I triple barreled off, maybe we get the call. But hey, I'll take it. And final results for the session, I finished up $2,593. And if you enjoyed this poker session here, make sure you check out this video where I play poker at the lodge and I make quad kings, my first quad hand of the year.